Welcome back to Vlog Fridays, everyone. Today we have another really interesting guest who's going to tell us all about drone-in-the-box technology and how this is being utilized around the world. Hello, Edward.
Hi, how's it going?
Oh, great, thank you, Edward. How are you?
Excited to be here. Excited to sort of talk a little bit more about what we've done. We're not great at putting all of our news out there, so hopefully this is a great channel to do so.
You're our third guest on Vlog Fridays, and I've got to tell you, in the flock, it's been a lot of anticipation. We've worked very closely with you guys at HeroTech8. Can you give everyone who's listening a synopsis about who HeroTech8 are and what you guys do?
So HeroTech8 is a robotics company, and we develop and deliver robotic infrastructure to support unmanned systems. But what we build is a sort of connected and automated drone-in-a-box system. We take a third-party drone system that's already used by the industry. We take this drone, we put it in a box, and this box has our guidance systems, communication systems, and lots of different kinds of technology exist within this box. And our ambition is to put this box anywhere in the world, and someone somewhere else in the world can log on and simply take control of it. The idea is really to make drones invisible to the world whilst providing a really important service and value to the customers that we serve.
Can you give me an idea of the companies that you're working with and the types of drone operations which they do?
Really two buckets of use cases that we plan. The first one is in the security domain. So we have security customers as security partners that use the system to conduct sort of persistent aerial surveillance. An alarm goes off, the drone is automatically dispatched to a specific part of their facility. That's one very clear use case.
That sounds so futuristic. Could we say that in a few years' time, people might be paying for this service to protect their house? So if their house alarm goes off, a drone will be released from the box and come and survey their house before the police arrive. Is that kind of what we could expect?
We haven't reached that point. The barrier for this kind of vision is very specifically not the technology. It is generating a safety case to get regulatory permissions. And doing that requires also integration with other technologies in order to secure those permissions.
So Gemma Alcock was on the previous Vlog Friday. Gemma was actually talking about HeroTech8, how drone-in-the-box technology will be used to help increase safety and perhaps save lives.
So the work we do with Gemma is actually really interesting. It's looking at how you can implement this kind of drone-in-a-box technology as a network to rapidly respond to incidents to support emergency services really across the country. We've also worked with a company called Magnox who decommission nuclear power plants. And in this case, they use this to effectively conduct a broad range of inspection using the drone-in-a-box system. These inspections can be conducted repeatedly, but also very remotely.
Great. Well, Edward, as I said, the Flock team were very excited to have you on. And I've got a question here from our very own Sam Golding. So it was great to hear that Medidrone Consortium, which Flock and HeroTech8 are both a part of, received future flight funding at the end of last year. Can you tell our viewers a bit more about the project and what your tech hopes to enable?
Great. So the Medidrone project it's an interesting project. It takes sensor information about the airspace and who is playing in the airspace. It takes that data and it's fed directly into our system. And this allows our operators to manage their operations very, very safely and effectively without interfering with other people's operations. This is really a safety-driven exercise. And the use case that we wrap this application in, principally the drone-in-a-box attempting to deliver something from point A to point B and back again.
What kind of companies are you getting most interest from?
We get a lot of interest from drone service providers right now. There are a lot of drone service providers that end-to-end service of capturing data and making that data meaningful to the customer. And we partner up with companies that do that second part in order to deliver that end-to-end service.
The public are generally quite worried with how much drones could interfere in day-to-day life. How would you answer anyone who questions how drone-in-the-box technology could in fact interfere?
I understand the consideration here. Drone operations are not supposed to be intrusive on our private lives. It's the reason why privacy laws are becoming such an issue. They're there to provide a service that is not expensive and provide significant value So if a drone is causing a lot of commotion, it's because the way in which it has been implemented perhaps needs some work. Drones are there to provide great benefit, whether it's medical delivery, reducing costs, whether or not it's improving efficiencies across the board. That's really what we're trying to create and engineer solutions for.
What would you say is the most exciting technology which is coming about in the drone industry at the moment?
I personally, I'm a huge fan of the urban air mobility space. I think that some guys are making some incredible platforms and they're accelerating our sort of future. That is going to be enormously successful and exciting, I hope.
Yes.
We would love to, of course, be part of it. We are very much focused on ground infrastructure anyway.
We'll get you back on a future Flock Friday and see if that has happened. Well, Edward, that was all really great to hear. I can speak for myself and hopefully everyone else to say that I've learned so much more about drone in the box technology. It sounds like you've got some really interesting things in the pipeline, and I would love to see all of that being shared across your platforms. You know, this is the future right here, and I would love to see more. So thank you very much for joining Flock Fridays today.
Thanks very much. It was great to be here.